Unition, which incidentally is a very weird name for a game, like Munition, and in this game you can get Meganition. But this is a deck building game where you have your own deck of cards and building up a deck and trying to get these different little alien dweebs or whatever into your army. They're from Disarray and they're fighting some clan warfare. Okay.
Everybody's going to start with a starting deck of various cards, and you'll be shuffling those, and on your turn you'll be playing 5 cards. In the middle of the table you'll have 5 cards here that you can get, although extra cards can show up depending on different card effects, and also extra gleam. Gleam is the resource of this game. When you play cards, they'll give you gleam, which you can use to buy cards. Each of the card has a cost in the top corner. I buy this card, I put it in my discard pile. When my deck runs out, I'll shuffle my discard pile, so in the future I can play this blob, which gives me 2 gleam. And also, if I played another blob card, lets me draw a card and then discard a card. And so they're all going to be different things, and different colors matter. You'll notice this card is sideways here, because this one, when I play it, will stay face up in front of me. And this will give me 2 shields on my turn. Now, shields are important because there's a lot of cards with attack. You'll attack your opponents. Each of you is going to start with a certain amount of life, and that's going to be dependent on how many players are in the game. Every time you attack an opponent for the swords, they'll lose that much life. If you lose life, you're out of the game. If you eliminate everyone, you win. Other cards give you cool points, and if you get a certain number of cool points, you win the game. So those are the 2 ways to win. Shields will give you shield tokens, and they will block points that you get, trash points that you get when someone else attacks you, but they do go away at the beginning of your next turn. There's also cards in the deck that are leaders. These leaders, when they come out, will just stay here. They're just really powerful, cool characters that match one of the 5 colors. And each player is kind of attuned to one of the colors. So you'll have this board, so you'll be able to play their cards a little easier. And everyone's starting deck has the Rainbow in it, which lets you, he gives you Unition, which is kind of a combination which lets you use the bottom parts of your cards. He gives that for all cards of one class's turn. And there's also supposedly Mega Unition, and I've never seen it happen, where you draw 1 card of every class. So if you pull that off, well, good on you, and then you get some bonuses for doing that. Those bonuses being, get another whole extra turn. But like I said, I've never seen that happen. So these strongholds also have a rule where you can only have so many cards in play on a turn, 10, but each of these counts against that when you play them. But other than that, you're just playing cards. You play your 5 cards, you discard them, you draw 5 cards, you keep going, you're trying to get enough of the cool points or take out all your opponents to win. Now, there's the biggest problem with Unition, besides the weird name, is the fact that people are going to look at this and play and go, it's kind of like Star Realms. And it really is like Star Realms in many ways, to the point where, does this one need to exist in the same universe as Star Realms? Now, I like this game. I'll give it a 7 out of 10. And in a vacuum, I might go higher, but because Star Realms exists in a smaller box, what does Unition have? It has those leaders, which are neat to get one of those big 8-point leaders. I think it's weird that they come out of the deck. Why don't they just all start on the table? Because if I'm trying to go for a certain color, mine comes up faster than yours does, and I get the 8 to buy it, I have a huge leg up on you. It has a couple really wonky rules. I already mentioned the Mega Unition, which you should never in a game like this be building all 5 colors and then trying to draw all 5. You're going to get much better benefit if you pick one color and stick with that. So that's one thing about the game. Another thing with the game is that there's this weird rule about 10 cards. It's just this insanely complicated rule that's not complex. Essentially, you have 5 cards in your hand. So you can play up to 10 cards in your turn, if you draw more cards, things. But each of these fortresses you have in front of you, or whatever they're called, strongholds that you put in front of you, counts against it. So if I have 1 stronghold, I can only play 9 more cards. If I have 2, 8. If I have 6 strongholds, I can't even draw 5 cards. I draw down to 4. This whole thing is complex. And also, how often are people getting this many strongholds? It just seems crazy. When you attack someone, you can attack their stronghold and get rid of it, depriving of the benefits, which again, very much like Star Realms. Despite all that, it's very fun. It's very interesting. It's back and forth. It's quick. Yes, it has player elimination, but it's the kind of game that is probably best played with 2 anyway, so player elimination doesn't matter. I like it. I'm just not sure it's necessary. That's Unition.